Let me ask you something. When was the last time you could walk into a store or open Newegg and grab a decent GPU for under $300 without feeling like you got robbed? Or maybe you thought, fine, I will just get a Steam Deck. Simple, portable, and affordable. Yeah, about that. Budget gaming, the idea that you can play and enjoy PC gaming without selling a kidney, is quietly dying. And the worst part, the industry isn't even pretending to care anymore. I'm going to break down exactly what's happening, what killed it, and whether there's any hope left. Let's start with the graphics card situation because it is grim. For years, the $300 price bracket was the heartbeat of PC gaming. This is where cards like the GTX 1070, RX 580, and RTX 3060 lived. Cards that punch well above their weight and let millions of people game at 1080p without going broke. That era is over. Right now in 2026, the best GPUs competing for your $300 are RTX 5060 and RX 9060 XT and Intel's Arc V580. Those are your options, and on paper, they sound reasonable. Both Nvidia and AMD launched the 5060 and 9060 XT at $299 MSRP. Keyword launched. Because here's the truth, those cards are already gone from that price, thanks to what the industry and the insiders are calling now RAM Armageddon, a global memory shortage driven by AI data center demand absolutely devouring VRAM supply. Both the RTX 5060 and 9060 XT have already capped up to 329 to 359 at retail, and analysts expect prices to keep climbing throughout the rest of 2026. So Nvidia puts 399 on the box, and so Nvidia puts 299 on the box. You go to the buy it and it's 350. Classic. The Intel Arc V580 is one legitimately bright spot here. 12 GB of VRAM, solid 1080p performance. It was hitting 199 at launch. But now this is important. Even Intel's cards are starting to drift upward and supply is inconsistent. What happened to RTX 4060 and RX 7600? Those last gen cards that used to represent solid value. They are now either cleared out of retail channels or priced so close to something new that recommending them feels irresponsible. The RX 7600 XT can sometimes still be found at $270 to $280, but it is getting beaten by newer cards in nearly every benchmark. The uncomfortable reality is this: the $300 GPU bracket still technically exists, but it has never been harder to actually buy a genuinely competitive card at that price. The moment something good launches as 299, AI demand, scalpers, and supply chain chaos it within weeks. This is not a temporary dip. This is structural. The same silicon that goes into your gaming GPU is now hot commodity for AI workloads. You are now competing with trillion dollars companies for right to play video games. Good luck. Okay, so desktop GPUs are mess, fine. There was still a fallback for budget gamers everywhere, a device that felt like genuine miracle when it launched back in 2022. The Steam Deck. Starting at $399, Valve offers as a handheld PC that ran real Linux-based OS, had access to entire Steam library, and felt like a middle finger to the idea that good gaming had to be expensive. It was the answer for anyone who didn't want to deal with GPU market madness. So of course, they tossed it. In late May 2026, Valve announced sweeping price hike for Steam Deck OLED lineup. Let's go through the numbers. The 512GB model, previously that was $549, now costs $789. That's a $240 increase, a 44% jump. The 1TB OLED model, previously $649, now costs $949, a full $300 more than before, nearly 50% higher. And the entry level LCD model, affordable one, discontinued in December 2025, it's gone. There's no cheap Steam Deck anymore. Valve's official statement was careful and corporate. They cited rising memory and storage costs and global logistical challenges across the industry, which had to be fair. It is true. This is the same as RAM down, driving GPU prices up. AI is eating the memory supply chain, and everything that uses RAM or NAND flash is getting hammered. But here's what stinks: the Steam Deck OLED sold out in North America within 24 hours of their announcement going live, even at nearly $800 for the base model. Demand is that high. Think about what that tells you. Valve raised prices by 45% and people still panic bought it because there is simply no comparable alternative at the same price. The Asus ROG Ally is $1,000. The Lenovo Legion Go 2 has climbed to $1,400. Steam Deck's entire value proposition in its whole identity was being affordable, accessible gaming handle. The one you would recommend at someone on a budget at $789. The story is that you know what used to cost $799? A mid-range gaming laptop, a decent pre-built gaming desktop PC with proper GPU. Now it's the entry price for a 4-year-old handheld running aging AMD Silicon and no upgrade path. So let's talk about the why, because this isn't just bad luck. Reason number one is AI is eating the chip supply. The demand for high bandwidth memory, HBM GDDR6, LPDDR5 has exploded because of AI training and inference hardware. Data centers are consuming components at a scale that dwarfs consumer electronics. When TSMC and Samsung had to choose between fulfilling orders for NVIDIA's S200 clusters or your RTX 5060, you know which one wins. Reason number two: GPU makers don't need budget gamers anymore. NVIDIA's record revenue comes from data center sales. AMD is in the same boat. The $300 consumer GPU is no longer their core business. It's a PR exercise to maintain brand loyalty. They will make a few launch at a reasonable MSRP and let the market do the rest. Reason number three: the console alternative isn't what it used to be. Just buy a console, I hear you saying, but the PS Pro launched at $699. Next gen hardware isn't going to be cheaper. Even the whole console world has walked away from the budget gamers. Reason number four: global logistics and tariffs. Whether it's trade tensions, port slowdowns, or geopolitical chaos driving up oil costs, hardware is simply more expensive to manufacture and ship in 2026 than it was 4 years ago. That cost lands on the consumer. The budget gaming ecosystem was built on foundation that assumed a competitive, predictable hardware market. That foundation is cracked. I don't want to leave you completely in the dark, so let's be honest about what's still workable. The used GPU market is actually in our hands, right friend now. Last gen cards like RX 6700 XT and 3060 Ti are available for $180 to $220 range secondhand, and they are still legitimately capable at 1080p. If you are not chasing the absolute latest titles, the used market is where the budget gaming still breathes. Intel Arc remains the most interesting wildcard. The B580 at $199, if you can find it, is generally a great card. 12 GB of VRAM, solid performance, and Intel seems committed to improving driver quality. It's not perfect, but it's real value if supply cooperates. For handhelds, watch the refurbished Steam Deck market. Valve confirmed that certified refurbished OLED models are not going up in price. They're still around $500 to $600, and those units have gone through Valve's quality check. That's your best remaining entry point. And cloud gaming is no longer a joke. Services like GeForce Now at higher tiers give you access to 4080 class performance for monthly subscription. If you have a solid internet, this isn't the compromise it used to be. Let's not sugarcoat it. These are workarounds. The dream of building a PC by buying a capable PC for $500 total, or grabbing a portable gaming device for $350 is functionally died in 2026. I got into PC gaming because it is the accessible option. You could build something powerful without a trust fund. You could game on a budget and still have great time. That accessibility is eroding fast, and says driving it aren't going away anytime soon. So if you are a new gamer trying to get in on a budget, or parent trying to set up something reasonable for your kid, I'm genuinely sorry, the market has abandoned you, and the industry isn't in a hurry to come back. If you hit home, drop a comment. Let me know what you paid for your last GPU, or whether you are still holding on out for better days. I want to know what you are seeing out there. Like and subscribe if you want more honest coverage of where PC gaming is actually headed, not where the press releases or say it's going. See you in the next one.